Who's watching?
I'll quickly go back and see what.
We're just gonna get that one out of the way.
I'll walk around.
On the front, you know. It's all yours.
All right, hi guys, my name is Rhea Warner. I'm with Owl's Nest Sanctuary for Wildlife. We are a state and federally permitted wildlife rehabilitation organization. We're based out of Odessa, but we serve 5 counties. And what that means is we take care of injured wildlife throughout the Tampa Bay area. Whether it's a bird, we deal with snakes and tortoises and turtles and bobcats and foxes and all sorts of interesting things. We do have our booth set up over there. You can come by later, get some close-up interaction with some animals, ask questions. But today I brought 2 different nocturnal animals for you guys to meet, and we're going to learn about their adaptations. Do any of my friends know what nocturnal means? Right here in the front, what is nocturnal? You're right, they sleep during the day and they're awake at night. Now, how many of you guys have known somebody who works a night job? So they sleep during the day and they work at night. My animals work a day job. So they've adjusted. They work during the day and they sleep at night. So we're going to go ahead and bring out our first one. Her name is Noelle, and she is an eastern screech owl. That's the smallest species of owl we have here in Florida. So let me go ahead and grab her. This is a real thing. So here is Noelle, and she came into us because she had actually been hit by a car. And Earth Day, we talk about different ways we can take care of the earth, and one of the things we think about a lot is litter. And litter being things that we just throw out that aren't necessarily biodegradable, so they don't break down on their own. But litter can be things that are biodegradable too. Litter is anything we throw away where it's not supposed to go. So I really don't like tomatoes. And it's hard for fast food restaurants to really understand that. So if I go through a drive-thru and they put tomatoes on my food, I can just throw it out my window, right? It'll biodegrade, it'll turn into dirt, but that's not the case because that food attracts other animals to the roadway. So somebody probably threw some food out and it attracted cockroaches because they'll eat anything. And Noelle loves to eat cockroaches. So she swooped down into the road and she ended up being hit by a car. The problem is these guys don't have peripheral vision like we do. So they can only look straight ahead, which is why they can turn that head all the way around. So she didn't see the car coming. All she saw was that meal. She ended up throwing a blood clot and now she has some permanent brain damage. So she does need to stay with us to get her long-term care. And she doesn't use her feet correctly, which is why I don't have to wear a glove with her. So these guys have a lot of really cool adaptations that help them to survive at night. How many of you guys have seen one of these in the wild before? That's more than I expected. I've never seen one in the wild unless it was injured. And it's because these guys have amazing camouflage. They come in 3 different colors, so based on the trees in the neighborhood, you might have a different color. She is a red morph screech owl, so she's going to live in a pine flatland where there's lots of pine to help her blend in. And they're also cavity dwellers. How many kids here know what a cavity is? Busted. Now she doesn't live in cavities in people's teeth, of course. She lives in cavities in trees. So anywhere where maybe a woodpecker's made a hole or a branch has dropped and there's a hole, that's where these guys are going to hide out and nest. Now they're really important because they help take care of that cockroach population. How many of you guys love cockroaches? Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, we've got a couple. You guys like cockroaches? They're cool, they're decomposers, we need them. But we don't want too many of them. So they help keep track of them and make sure they don't overpopulate. So you guys can come by and meet Noelle and learn some more about her because she'll be out all day. But I'm gonna go ahead and bring out our next friend because they're not gonna be out all day. Because our next one is actually going back into the wild. So we did not get cuddly with them, and you can't get cuddly with them. And they can bite. So you guys can see him from up here, you can see him up close, but he's going to be going away a little bit later today. So let me go ahead and pull him out. How many of you guys have seen something like this before? It's a possum. Now this is a juvenile possum, and he is in the teenage stage of his life. So he's ready to be out on his own. He doesn't really need mom and dad as much anymore. So he is ready to go back into the wild. And we actually tried to release him last night, and he found his way back in. He was not quite ready to go. So he got to come today to EcoFest and celebrate Earth Day with us. So possums are actually amazing creatures. A lot of people think they're really gross and they're really dangerous, but their body temperature is very low compared to ours. So a lot of diseases that people worry about with wild mammals aren't diseases that possums can carry. Like possums can't carry rabies. So a lot of time people call us and they think the possum is rabid because it has its mouth open and there's saliva dripping, but that's just a defense they have. That's them trying to look big and scary and unappetizing. He's even going potty in my hand, that way I don't eat him. I don't want to eat him.
Gross!
Yep, these guys are gross and it's awesome. These guys are also scavengers, which means that they'll eat just about anything they find. So they help break down decomposing things that we don't want sitting around in our yard. But they also do something really important for our health. These guys love to eat ticks. And ticks can carry Lyme disease and some other diseases. So these guys will help take care of those ticks so that we don't get sick from ticks. Now, how many people think these guys can hang upside down by their tail? They actually can't. Their tail is called prehensile, so you can see he's kind of holding onto my finger with it, but it's not strong enough to hold all of his weight. So when they're young, sometimes they can, but as they get older and heavier, it just becomes kind of like an extra arm or a leg, and it helps them to hold on. You're okay. Now, these guys are also marsupials, meaning that the females have a pouch that they carry their young in. You're okay. Yeah, that's my finger. That didn't feel good. That's why I was wearing a glove. So now we're getting brave. These guys do have some very sharp teeth because as scavengers and omnivores, they eat all sorts of things. So they need to be able to tear into meat and carrots and lots of stuff. So he will be out a couple times throughout the day to see, but not as often because he is going back in the wild. And as you can see, he is not loving this because we don't want him to think of people as being a positive thing. So do you guys have any questions about the two animals we met or native wildlife or what we do? Right here in the front row, you gotta shout it out. So do possums have natural predators? They actually have quite a few natural predators. They do have hawks and eagles and owls more often because these guys are nocturnal.
So what do we do when we find one?
What do you do when you find one? So if you find one, either a baby that needs help being raised or one that may have been attacked by a predator, you want to call for a possum, a state rehabber, and if you find a bird, you have to call a federal rehabber because those guys are federally protected. So we have our information, you can get it. We do serve 5 counties. So if you're here, chances are you're in our area of coverage, and if not, we probably work with someone who can help you out. All right. So other predators for these guys, we see a lot from cat attacks when they're young, or dogs. Also coyotes can take them, or raccoons when they're younger. What other questions did we have? Oh. All right. How many years do possums live? These guys actually don't have a very long lifespan at all. They only live about 2 to 3 years because they live life on the wild side for sure. They get some crazy places that they live in. I've seen some in managed care live to be 4, and that's a long life for them. But in order to make sure that their population stays okay, they have 13 babies at a time sometimes. So they have lots of babies so that they can keep their species going. Any other questions? We got, ooh, don't bite me. We have lots of time for questions. I can come down and walk around. You guys can see closer too. I just won't be able to have the mic down there. Yes, sir. That is a great question. Baby possums are actually only about the size of a jelly bean when they're first born. Because they're marsupials, they don't develop all the way in their mommy's tummy like we do as people. So when they're born, they're only a little ready to be on their own, and they have to climb up and get in the pouch, and they spend a whole nother month before they come out. And when they come out, they're about the size of a small mouse. And then when they get to this size, they're ready to be on their own. So by now, he would have been riding around on mom's back, and she'd be kicking him off, giving him an eviction notice. Any other questions? We have questions about possums or screech owls or any native Florida wildlife. Yes, ma'am. The owl, the screech owls live about 10 to 15 years. Do you have any questions for us, Lenny? Go for it.
What do you do if you find a dead animal?
Ooh, if you find a dead animal, if it's in the middle of the road, you want to move it out of the roadway so things like vultures and possums don't get hit by a car trying to eat it. Because it's their job to take care of those kind of things. But if it's an eagle, you would need to call somebody to come pick it up. Any other animal, you can let nature take its course.
Any questions from the Cub Scouts? Come on. Oh, Trey, right here in front. Come on. Do opossums eat geckos?
They can.
Do they eat
That would be-
live geckos? Or
I was going to say, if it's a really cold gecko and it's moving slow, they might eat it, but they're going to take an easy meal first, which is why they like to get into people's trash cans, because that food's not going anywhere. So if they had to chase a gecko, chances are pretty good that gecko's going to get away.
Consider this a lazy animal?
Lazy, yes, but I would say that they're rather smart. I would never think of going potty to keep a predator off of me.
Trey, stand up.
Do possums play dead so the predators think it would just be dead?
Yep, they do play dead, and when they do that, they're going to open their mouth like they're doing right now. They're going to have lots of saliva. They're going to go potty and have muss. Drip some saliva on Lenny. And they actually can lower their heart rate so that you don't see them breathing and moving as much. So it's kind of what he's doing right now. He's getting real relaxed in my hand. He's like, I'm not a threat, just let me go. I'll be okay. You don't want to eat me.
I know there has to be more questions. What's your favorite animal to rescue? Oh my God, I just went number. He just did.
He's going.
He went number 2 on my stage. We're gonna have to kick him out.
We're going to need to clean up after this. My favorite animal is actually otters. A lot of people say that they like owls, but right now we have 10 otters that we're taking care of. And we all work out of our homes. So believe it or not, they are at a house near Learning Gate, and you can watch them on a webcam. They're being taken care of by one of your very own Learning Gate families. There are 6 of them there. They do have their own camera. You can watch. You can go fishing and get food for them and help raise them, but they're my absolute favorite. They're so cute, and they're a little attitude too. A fully grown gecko? Not that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe if it's a teeny tiny possum that didn't make it to mom's pouch, but not like this kind of size.
So back to the otter. Are they baby otters?
Yes, they are baby otters that came in because their moms had been hit by cars. Because what have we been missing the last few months here in Florida that we usually have a lot of? Rain. So with that rain, the river is getting lower, and we see animals who would usually be hanging out at the river and at different lakes and ponds trying to find new habitats that they can live in, that they can fish in, things like that. So you've seen a lot of otters finding their way in areas that are heavy with road traffic. So these guys all came in after moms had been hit by cars, and we bottle raised them first, so they stayed with us where they got bottle fed several times a day. And now that they're learning those skills to be on their own, they're in the pen. So they get live fish, they get frozen fish, they get mussels. They even went on an Easter egg hunt to practice foraging.
Wow, okay. When do you plan on releasing them?
They will be released at the beginning of June. We were actually looking last night at them and the weather and everything to make sure that when we release them, they have everything they need to survive. And we're predicting that first week in June, we're going to be doing some releases.
Are people invited to the releases?
We will put it online, but we don't want to have a whole lot of people. We're not completely sure where we're going to be releasing them yet, and you never know how an animal is going to behave at a release. So sometimes you release an animal and it takes off and goes the direction you're pointing, and sometimes it comes back towards you. So for everybody's safety, we put them online, but we don't tend to have a lot of people there in case the animal wants payback for keeping it for so long.
Okay. What other questions do you guys have?
Yes, sir. That's okay, just wait.
Can a fully grown possum eat an alligator?
Eat a hawk egg? Yes. These guys love to eat eggs, and they will climb up in trees. So if the hawk mom or dad isn't there to protect the nest, there is a good chance that they will eat them. And believe it or not, otters really like eggs too, but they're not going to be getting up in trees to get hawk eggs. They'll eat eggs from like sandhill cranes or some of those shorebirds that are along the edge of the waterways. You're so slaughtery.
What other animals do you have that you rescued that you don't have here today?
Oh my goodness. We are so full right now because it's spring. We have all sorts of songbirds. We have mockingbirds and blue jays and bluebirds. We have a leucistic hawk. That's really cool. It's almost like albino. So it's a red-tailed hawk, but it's white with blue eyes. We have a baby heron right now. We have a hawk that got into some rat poisoning, so that's no good. He's getting medicine to help him get through that. We have got a whole bunch of screech owls and a baby hawk and bunnies and lots of possums. We probably have about 250 possums right now, and they're so young they have to be tube fed. So those volunteers have to take them everywhere with them. Yes, sir.
Do you ever have bunnies that need to be rehabilitated?
We do have bunnies that need to be rehabilitated. Yep, we have adults. Sometimes they get attacked by animals. Sometimes they have something wrong with them because sometimes we get sick and it's not because we were hurt and we just need a little extra help. I'm going to go ahead and put him back and bring Noel back out because I don't want him to get too stressed out being here today.
Leo, do you have any questions?
Are there any other questions while we get Noel back out?
Oh,
Hello, lady.
that's my favorite.
She is actually full grown. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we do confiscations with Florida Fish and Game. Sometimes people knowingly say, hey, this was a bad idea. I kept this raccoon and it's not a pet. Can you please come take it? And sometimes we get reports from neighbors. So they say, hey, my neighbor is raising a baby deer for the holidays, or they have a pet hawk, and then we have to go in and say, okay, you don't have permits to have that, that's illegal. Can you surrender it to us? And if they say no, we do get law enforcement involved. And sometimes we can rehabilitate them and get them back out, and sometimes there are too many issues from improper care, and then we try to find a permanent facility for them. We also work with FWC on amnesty. So we've had a few calls where people have released invasive species or non-native species, and we will go out and capture them and help get them rehomed. So we have some iguanas, I have a ball python that somebody left in their apartment when they were evicted. We've got ferrets.
Well, it sounds like you've got your hands pretty full right now. We're going to bring on our next. It's so soft.
Careful, she bites.
So very. Okay. We're going to bring on our next guest, and then anyone who wants can come visit the animals right over there at that white tent.
All right, I will see you guys at the white tent.
Thank you very much for coming out today. We really appreciate it.